मन की आंखें खोल बाबा, मन की आंखें खोल, मन की आंखें खोल बाबा, मन की आंखें खोल बाबा, मन की आंखें खोल। हरि बोल हरि बोल हरि हरि बोल, 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 हरि बोल हरि बोल हरि हरि बोल। दुनिया क्या है एक तमाशा, छादिनों की झूठी आशा। दुनिया क्या है एक तमाशा, छादिनों की झूठी आशा। ज्ञान तराजू हाथ में लेकर, ज्ञान तराजू हाथ में लेकर, तोल सके को तोल बाबा, मन की आंखें खोल बाबा, मन की आंखें खोल। हरि बोल हरि बोल हरि हरि बोल, हरि बोल हरि बोल हरि हरि बोल, हरि बोल हरि बोल हरि हरि बोल। मतलब की सब दुनियादारी, मतलब की है सब संसारी। जग में तेरा वो हितकारी, तन मन का सब जोल कागर, नाम प्रभु का बोल बाबा, मन की आंखें खोल। हरि बोल हरि बोल हरि हरि बोल, हरि बोल हरि बोल हरि हरि बोल, हरि बोल हरि बोल हरि हरि बोल, हरि बोल हरि बोल हरि हरि बोल। Om. Om. Devotees, welcome. Such a peaceful morning, tranquil. We with the birds and the water and Mother Earth and a very cool breeze. And we saw Surya Narayana's come up. And we look further beyond and we see the space. And we are in the orbit of the sun. And so are the planets, the Navgrahas. That's the open-mindedness that we have to have. Man ki aankhein khola Baba. Expand your mind to the place where you have gone beyond creation. And when you do that, that is what we call being in a state of consciousness. And when you're there and you look back, when you're in that state of being, it's not a place. It's the state of being, because consciousness is all powerful, is all pervading, it's all knowing. It knows the past, present, and future. It's all over. It's one piece. It cannot be divided. And then it is all divine power. Oh my God, it's so beautiful. Well, let us pay adoration to the Guru, because he's the one who's going to give me. He's going to make me an instrument in his hands, and the words will just flow naturally. Om Dhyana Moolam Gurur Murti, Puja Moolam Guru Param, Mantra Moolam Gurur Vakyam, Moksha Moolam Guru Kripa, Moksha Moolam Guru Kripa. Adorations to Swami Parameshananda ji, incarnation of Lord Shiva, manifestation of consciousness, founder and spiritual master of BHARAT, SEVASHRAM, a brotherhood of monks and disciples all over the world, millions of them. Well, today I want to just talk about, when you talk about experience that you have and you're near their divine originated, that yesterday was such a beautiful day, and last night I did an article for the Hinduism Today. Nice questions were asked, and I'm sure you have heard the name Hinduism Today. It's a Hindu magazine that is talks about and explore and reports about Hindus' activities all over the world and how they are interfacing with other religions and all of that. So I did one article like that. And then also last night, yesterday I listened to the troubles of people and their concerns, and you help them. Because what you do, you see their weaknesses. Why? What are their weaknesses? What are people's weaknesses? Because their minds are so small. Like the bhajanis say, Man ki aake kholo Baba. And you need to chant the name of the Lord, Hari Bol, Hari Bol. That could be Krishna or any of the incarnations of Vishnu Bhagwan, including Bhagwan Sri Ram, the Buddha. And we bring also the Christ, because these are authentic gods, manifestations of consciousness. Well, on last night, it was most interestingly, as you know, Guyana we're looking to upgrade Guyana after 70 years. I talk about that, and I'll be speaking a lot about that, because we need your help, you need your input and all of that. And you know, there's good people on and working in this committee, and I noticed that everyone is selfless service. There's a gentleman I know, Karan Singh, and you know, first time on Lisa, and you listen to this gentleman and his experience and how he delivers his vision. I could see that there's some divine power in him, and his contribution is so great that he gives ideas. But one thing that he would have said, that before we go and ask for money out there, let us put into place, and there will be no questions asked, as the transparency of how we're handling this money. Is there a structure in Guyana? Swamiji, Shiv Shankarananda, he must have a structure of secretary and treasurer, and so the workload for him will be distributed, and it shouldn't be a one-man show. And this committee also, it shouldn't be a one-man show, because you know, in life I seen where people would assimilate themselves, their thoughts, and they'll gather information from others, and then they're presented as if they're the ones that are originating this information. This is a deception, and it should not be part of it, but I don't see it in this committee, so I could see good things. And then we also spoke about how we want to give the public a good overview of how vast and how magnificent this property of 20 acres of land that was developed from swampy lands, and now it's such a bustling and a beautiful place, an oasis of divinity. As Sivaratri time, it's the peak celebration, and thousands, the whole country will come to Guyana. And this is all through the work of Swami Parameshananda ji and his disciple Swami Purnananda ji, and later Swami Vidyananda ji. These are the spiritual masters, that the lineage that we've seen coming down. And the Guyana ashram there, it's it's going to be progressive. You know, this is all coming from my experience and all over the world. That when you make yourself an instrument in the hands of the Lord, not seeking position or wanting to hold a microphone and be in the forefront, that's an egotistic kind of attitude. That in Nepal, when we started from a little house, and now it's a beautiful ashram, completed, self-sufficient with the support of devotees all over the world. Now in Assam, we just sent some money, just a small amount of money, a token of encouragement for the local brahmachari Cheshong, and he's doing dynamic work as such a young monk, and he is BHARAT SEVASHRAM, and he is building buildings and taking care of students in all facets, their education. He has boys in the dormitory, he has girls in separate dormitories there, and he wants to upgrade their lives. And he has 2 schools deep in the jungle that he's running, 900 students in those 2 schools. And Swami Parameshananda has given me the opportunity to serve there. That's all I want, to serve. And because of serving, seva. When you do seva, devotees, like I'm doing now, You don't have to go to the mandirs anymore because you've internalized everything that's there. Like here, the seva that I'm doing, is giving me the opportunity to serve. In this open mandir, this mandir, I always say no walls, no ceiling, but it has all the murtis here. Look, this Gangama. Look, Hanumanji is blowing against me, cool and soft, invigorating. Surya Narayan is brightening up the whole of this mandir. No lights coming from electricity. And also we have Mother Earth. Oh, Dharti Ma. We call this Mother Earth because she's the sustainer of everything. So why you have to go to mandir? Because why? You go on beyond religion. You beyond the dogmas of religion, the business of religion. And because religion separates. And if you look, religions, and you look at it, is the foundation of all wars. Because each religious group, wants to show their superiority in the world. And they do it by cruel means, religious means, and spiritual means. But like when the Christ came, he was misunderstood. And he was put on the cross because he said, this is my Father's kingdom, to a king. And he said, and the king was saying, oh, this is my Father's kingdom? Because the king misunderstood. He was saying, this is my Father's kingdom. He was saying consciousness, the Holy Spirit. Anyway, one of my biggest work was done in Bhajitpur. And I'm saying this because I want to give you an idea how the Lord uses his disciple, Swami Parameshananda. God uses his disciple, Bhajitpur, going there and see the rundown of the ashram, canals, murtis were falling into the canal, major erosion because of high tides and fast running waters. And then little by little, after going the third time, then we went and saw the government of Bangladesh. And to make a long story short, they paved the canal, they built a road, the government built a road from the main road to the ashram, constructed a concrete bridge with heavy vehicles can go over. It was a bamboo bridge. When you try to walk, you shake, you're thinking, okay, you'll be falling in there any moment now. And so my opportunity to serve in Bangladesh was such a beautiful one. And then Swami Vidyanand would have gone with devotees and set up this beautiful guest house. No, Namaskar ji. A beautiful, what do you call it? That's one of a holy man. He's a Punditji. He runs a temple. Here he is, goes there. And he would have set up that guest house. So let's come back to Guyana, that the attitude that we should have when we're given an opportunity to serve, don't look for position. Push the other devotees up front. Give the recognition to the contributors. Everyone who's giving, whether it's your expertise in visioning what has to be done or your contribution, everyone should be given. And the leadership, you know, the leadership, when he or she is there to include all, not to be a one-man show. Because when you do that one-man show thing, then what you do, you're isolating yourself. And before you know it, people will recognize and they will pull away because they're saying, we're not knowing what's going on here. That, you know, people want to know. There was a time I told you that in all my dealings, that if transparency is not there, I back off. And then, like in Nepal, when that was shown, the local leadership would say, okay, Swamiji, here's the financial report, here's a structure. I'm not doing this all alone. And who is guiding this? Remember, the good Lord is facilitating you. And if we follow this kind of a thinking in our dealings, as household dealings too, that always be inclusive, recognize the good work of others. Don't be saying you're doing it all by yourself. And you'll see progress. Open your mind. Let us all sing something here again. Let us sing to Krishna. Krishna, yeah? Hari Sundara Nanda Mukunda, Hari Narayana Hari Om, Hari Sundar Nanda Mukunda, Hari Narayana Hari Om, Hari Keshava Hari Govinda, Hari Narayana Hari Om, Hari Keshava Hari Govinda, Hari Narayana Hari Om, Hari Sundar Nanda Mukunda, Hari Narayana Hari Om. बनमाली मुरली धारी गोवर्धन गिरधारी, वनमाली मुरली धारी गोवर्धन गिरधारी, नित नित कर माखन चोरी गोपी मनहारी, नित नित कर माखन चोरी गोपी मनहारी, हरि सुंदर नंद मुकुंद, हरि नारायण हरि ओम, हरि केशव हरि गोविंद, हरि नारायण हरि ओम। आओ रे गाओ रे गोकुल के प्यारी, आओ रे खांदा रे गोकुल के प्यारी, आओ रे नाचो रे रास रचाओ रे, हरि सुंदर नंद मुकुंद, हरि नारायण हरि ओम, हरि सुंदर नंद मुकुंद, हरि नारायण हरि ओम। Ah, what a beautiful morning. People are running. COVID is getting less here in America. People are starting to get energized, coming outside. So many people have got their shots. I got mine. I got the Moderna, 2 shots. So there's a sense of a little security, but precautions are still there. Let us pay adorations to Surya Narayan. He's coming up. Let us greet him because he's our life force. Om Bhara Bhavasva Tatsavitur Varenyam Bhargo Devasya Dhimahi Dhiyo Yo Naha Prachodayat. Om Bhara Bhavasva Tatsavitur Varenyam Bhargo Devasya Dhimahi Dhiyo Yo Naha Prachodayat. Dhiyo Yo Naha Prachodayat. You know, let me just go back and conclude that I spoke about the Guyana ashram. This here is the foundation of BHARAT SEVASHRAM Shengen West. And we always have to go back to that ashram because all the monks, directly and indirectly, they all originated from that ashram by being disciples of Swami Parameshananda ji, and of course Swami Parameshananda ji, disciple of Guru Maharaj, God, and then also we are also disciples of God. And all the monks, whether they came from India, they all were inspired. They were all because of that ashram in Guyana. And so we have to pay tribute to the ashram. And very shortly, like I said, the ashram will be coming into fruition. It's going to come, and it's going to come the right way. That when we build it, every inch of the land will be looked at for its to be beautified. And most of all, activities have to come before buildings. That is my philosophy, and that I've learned that from Swami Parameshananda ji, that activities must come first, then building. Because if you build a building and you don't have activities, then it'll be a white elephant sitting there and nothing going on. So keep that in mind, and whenever you do something, devotees, think of it, how is this going to benefit you to better your relationship with God? How do you think? How do you speak? And how do you act? Is this that's going to help you in your relationship with God? If it does, do it. But if it doesn't, don't do it. You rethink, and if you have bad habits, don't perpetuate them. If you're addicted to bad habits, kill them. Have the willpower. This morning you're getting the willpower to take care of all your weaknesses. And let the Lord that you pray to invigorate you and give you the strength and the wisdom to take yourself out of suffering and bring you to a place of bliss. Hari Om. Shanti, Shanti, Hari Om. Have a beautiful day. Look at this. The ducks are sitting so peaceful in this placid lake. Good morning, ducky. Good morning, good morning. And here, and we're saying good morning to all the Mother Murtis, Mother Earth, Mother Ganga, Surya Narayan, and Hanumanji is here. All the deities are here. And space, space, we cannot visualize space, as we can't talk about space, but yet space is so powerful. It sustains all the four other elements, and space is like an example of what consciousness is all about. You can't talk about it, but it's there and it's the most powerful. Hari Om. Shanti, Shanti, Hari Om. Have a beautiful day. Om Sri Guru Shivaya Namah. 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 Om Sri Guru Shivaya Namah.